In this video, I want to go over what you can do as a player to counter the Odin. By far, the most common issue I hear in my videos is how stupid the gun can be sometimes and how there is no counterplay against the player using it. Players in the competitive scene like Sinatraa have also made great use of the gun and have found wins where other teams may not have been able to. But although the gun can be nasty in some situations, it definitely has very apparent weaknesses, and keeping these weaknesses in mind, this gun will not cause you any issues. By the end of this video, I want to make sure that you can dominate any Odin player so that no one can ever abuse it against you again. Before I get into things, just a quick reminder that if you enjoyed this video, to get subscribed. It's free and you can always unsub again if you'd like to, and only 4% of you guys are currently subs, so getting that number up will help me a ton. Onto the video. The Odin is a gun whose strengths lie in its high wall penetration and huge magazine size. With 100 bullets available, the gun has more than enough to mow down entire teams of players without any trouble. The gun fires 12 rounds per second and ramps up its fire rate up to 15.6 rounds per second if you fire it. The ADS mode shortcuts this ramp up and straight up fires at the max speed, and also makes the recoil much more controllable as well. With this in mind, the Odin is definitely one of the strongest guns when the player is able to set up shop and plant itself in the right position. Of course, the power of the gun is only truly accessed in this situation, and there's plenty of different scenarios where the Odin can be pressured to be a lot weaker and be outplayed by many guns in the game. This is all based on being able to make the user of the Odin not be able to be placed into this situation. If the gun is strongest when you're able to stay still and blow teams wide open, what you need to do as a player is pressure the Odin player so that they're forced to move and not have that opportunity to be in that position. Burn utility, pressure fire, do whatever you need to do to make sure that Odin player isn't able to remain still. The Odin has the slowest move speed out of any gun in the game and is really bad when trying to fire unscoped. Switching to its ADS mode is also the slowest out of any gun in the game. This essentially translates into the idea that in any situation that doesn't allow the player to just sit still and hold an angle for free, the Odin will be significantly weaker than normal. It's just about forcing them off of these positions and taking advantageous fights when the Odin player is stuck in this awkward transition. This concept will apply differently based on whether the player is on the attacking or defending side. When attacking or in a retake scenario on defense, these are the situations in which an Odin player is forced to be moving the most, and this is when they are the least capable of getting a kill onto you, and this is your time to strike. Another way to counter the Odin is to take fights with guns that are better than it in certain ranges and situations. The Odin is definitely in its strongest form when you're fighting in it mid-range scenarios, and there are a lot of guns in the game that can be stronger than it by abusing this factor. The Odin will struggle greatly against long-range weapons like the Operator and Marshal, and even against guns like the Guardian that are able to play just outside the range of it. Even though the Odin spray acts like a nice laser beam, when you get killed instantly by some of these guns, there's not much the Odin player can do. The same can apply to guns that are extremely strong in short-range scenarios, specifically being shotguns and even SMGs in some scenarios. Shotguns are able to just outburst the Odin sometimes because of their ability to instantly deliver power and not give the Odin a chance to catch up and melt through. SMGs are even able to do well sometimes because they are much more flexible than the Odin, being able to fire while moving and remaining relatively accurate. Whether you try to outdamage it or outplay it, approaching the Odin strategically and not giving the player a chance to mow you down will be key to taking them down. Even with a normal rifle like the Phantom or Vandal, with all things generally being equal, it's not like the Odin is just objectively a better gun. The assault rifles are meant to be excellent choices in almost every scenario, and there is no exception when it comes to facing the Odin. So although the Odin is able to outtrade with assault rifles due to their faster fire rate, the Odin has no chance if the assault rifle player is able to get a headshot against it. The Odin is only able to deal 95 damage to the head with a headshot when compared to the Vandal's 160 and up to 156 from the Phantom. In these situations, there is no chance for the Odin player to win as long as you're able to get that headshot. This is why so few people use the Odin at higher levels of play, because headshots are such a core component to how these players play. And the more headshots that are present in the game, the less effective something like the Odin will be. This of course will rely on you as the player also being able to follow up on this. If you want to give yourself the best chances of outplaying the Odin, just hit heads and you'll be good to go. The hitting head part is what's on you. This is also the reason why the Odin is so much more of a presence in lower elos, because most players are not able to deliver on these headshots required in order to counter it. The Odin can be a frustrating gun when it succeeds, but with a strong strategic approach and the right mindset when taking it on, you can easily take it apart and counter its strengths. Hope this video helps you out. Stay fresh, everyone.